Have you ever found a used car that looked like the deal of a lifetime? Clean, low miles, great price, only to find out later it hides a $4,000 repair waiting to happen? You're not alone. Every year, thousands of drivers fall into the same trap, buying a car with a transmission problem that doesn't show up until it's too late. In today's video, we're going to uncover 5 cars that can turn a good deal into a repair nightmare. These are models that seem reliable and affordable, but under the surface, they hide one of the costliest mistakes. You can make a bad transmission. We've gathered information straight from Consumer Reports, RepairPal, NHTSA, and real mechanics who've seen these issues over and over again in their shops. So if you're shopping for a used car in 2025, this might be the most important video you'll watch before spending your money. Stay with me until the end because I'll also tell you how to spot the warning signs of a failing transmission before you buy and save yourself thousands in repair bills. Let's start with one of the most common traps in the used SUV market, the Nissan Rogue. Between 2015 and 2021, it became one of the best-selling compact SUVs in America, but according to Consumer Reports, RepairPal, and the NHTSA, that popularity hides a serious weakness: its CVT transmission. On paper, the Rogue looks like a solid choice: good gas mileage, plenty of cargo room, and a comfortable ride. But multiple owner reports and mechanic reviews highlight recurring CVT issues that can turn a cheap SUV into an expensive headache. The most frequent complaints include jerking at low speeds, loss of acceleration, and a high-pitched whining noise that develops as the transmission begins to fail. Sources such as RepairPal and Car Complaints point out that these transmissions are prone to overheating, which wears out the internal metal belt and pulleys. Once that happens, a full replacement is often required, and that can cost between $3,000 and $5,000, depending on the shop and region. Nissan did extend warranties on certain years, but many owners were left paying out of pocket. When inspecting or test driving a Rogue, experts recommend watching for vibrations between 20 and 40 miles per hour, hesitation when accelerating, or engine revving without vehicle movement. Even if the car seems fine, ask for maintenance records. A CVT that has gone too long without fluid changes is considered a major red flag by most mechanics and reviewers. The Nissan Rogue is a great-looking, practical SUV, but if you believe the reports from owners and industry analysts, it also hides one of the most expensive transmission systems to repair in its class. Next up is the Jeep Cherokee, 2014-2015, a vehicle that promised cutting-edge technology but, according to Consumer Reports, the NHTSA, and numerous mechanic bulletins, became one of the most infamous examples of modern transmission failure. These Cherokees came equipped with the ZF 9-speed automatic transmission, which was meant to improve fuel efficiency and performance. Instead, it earned a reputation for being unpredictable, jerky, and expensive to fix. According to RepairPal and Car Complaints, owners frequently reported rough shifting, hesitation between gears, and sudden drops into neutral while driving. In some cases, the transmission software attempted to correct mechanical faults, but only made the shifting worse. Jeep issued several software updates and recalls, but many owners still experienced long-term reliability problems even after those fixes. Automotive technicians interviewed by iSeeCars and Consumer Reports point out that the ZF 9-speed's design is overly complex. It uses multiple clutches and solenoids to manage gear changes, which means even minor component wear can cause major symptoms. The result? Repair costs that can exceed $4,000, and in some cases, complete transmission replacement before 80,000 miles. If you're test driving one of these, experts recommend watching for harsh or delayed upshifts, clunking when coming to a stop, or the vehicle randomly dropping into neutral. Any of these signs should make you walk away, no matter how good the deal looks. According to the data, the Jeep Cherokee from this generation stands as a reminder that not every advanced transmission lives up to its promises, and in this case, innovation came with a very high price. Next is a car that's everywhere on the used market, the 2014 Nissan Sentra. On the surface, it looks like the perfect affordable sedan, great fuel economy, simple to drive, and cheap to maintain. But according to Consumer Reports, RepairPal, and the NHTSA, the 2014 Sentra is also one of the most complained about cars in its class when it comes to transmission reliability. This generation of Sentra used Nissan's Xtronic CVT, the same type of continuously variable transmission found in other Nissan models like the Altima and Rogue, and it suffered from the same issues. Reports gathered by Car Complaints describe symptoms such as shuddering, hesitation, delayed acceleration, and whining noises that get worse as the transmission warms up. According to RepairPal, the main problem lies in overheating. The CVT design in these Sentras relies heavily on proper cooling, and if the transmission fluid isn't changed on schedule or the car is driven in hot climates, the internal belt begins to slip and wear down. When that happens, drivers often face repair quotes between $3,500 and $5,000, more than the value of the car itself in many cases. Nissan issued several service bulletins to update software and reduce early wear, but Consumer Reports notes that these updates didn't eliminate the underlying design flaws. Mechanics familiar with the model often advise checking for vibration between 30-50 miles per hour and delayed throttle response, two classic red flags of CVT failure. So while the 2014 Sentra may seem like a fuel-efficient bargain, data from these sources show it's one of those cars that can easily turn a low upfront cost into a long, expensive lesson in transmission repair. If you're finding this helpful so far, hit that like button. It really helps the channel reach more drivers who want to avoid expensive mistakes. And tell me in the comments, have you ever owned a car that turned out to be way more trouble than it looked? I'd love to hear your story. Your experience might save someone else from the same headache. All right, don't go anywhere because the next car on this list might surprise you. It's big, powerful, and looks like it could handle anything. But what most people don't know is that it hides something you definitely want to check before buying. Finally, let's talk about the Chevrolet Tahoe, a full-size SUV that commands respect wherever it goes. It's powerful, comfortable, and has that unmistakable American presence on the road. But according to Consumer Reports, RepairPal, and NHTSA service data, even this strong-looking SUV can have a weak spot that turns confidence into frustration. In newer models, particularly from 2018 to 2022, the Tahoe uses GM's 10-speed automatic transmission, developed jointly with Ford. On paper, it sounds like an engineering triumph, smoother shifting, better performance, and improved fuel economy. However, owner complaints and mechanic reports tell another story. Car Complaints lists multiple cases of hard shifts, delayed acceleration, and sudden jerks, especially at low speeds. RepairPal and several GM technical bulletins cite problems with valve body calibration and fluid pressure regulation, which cause the transmission to behave unpredictably. In some cases, the issue improves with a software update. In others, it leads to a full transmission replacement that can cost upwards of $4,000 to $6,000. Experts recommend paying close attention during a test drive. If the Tahoe hesitates when shifting from first to second gear or feels like it kicks while cruising, it's worth walking away. Also check whether the vehicle has had transmission fluid flushes performed on schedule. Skipping them often worsens these issues. Despite its power and status, the Chevrolet Tahoe serves as a reminder that even big, bold vehicles aren't immune to costly mechanical surprises, especially when it comes to modern, high-tech transmissions that look good on paper, but can empty your wallet in real life. And there you have it. 5 cars that prove a great deal can turn into a nightmare once you're in the repair shop. What looks like a bargain on the surface can easily hide one of the most expensive problems in any vehicle: transmission failure. The truth is, as Consumer Reports and RepairPal often remind us, the best used car isn't just the one with low miles or shiny paint. It's the one with a solid maintenance history and a reputation for reliability. Before you buy, always research the model, check for service records, and pay attention during your test drive. A few minutes of caution can save you thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, drive smart, and I'll see you in the next video.